What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we have the arrival of Deimos Base. And I think the answer to a lot of people's questions are, is this actually going to be better than what it was before? And I can tell you guys so far, my initial impressions of this thing are actually really, really good. They have changed quite a few things in this. Now, you guys do see that we still have that CP requirement, which is really to be expected when it comes to Deimos Base. And right now, I'm just using the Street Fighter team, and I know that, two of my characters are very leveled up. They're very strong, level 60, level 63, and then, of course, Rio's a level 30, right? So the CPU requirements are going to be easy to fill as far as facing this. But I want you guys to take a look at the season info. So they show you guys some of the buffs that, regular fighters are going to get, like your EX fighter is going to get an increased attack by 10%, and then pretty much all the fighters are going to get an increased attack. And then they show the seasonal weakening effect, which decreases the PG rate. Now, before, whenever we face this thing, as you went higher in the stages, there was always these little things where it made it much more difficult to get through Deimos Base, where they just took away our hyper armor, they just nerfed our characters to the hilt, to where they couldn't really do any damage. Now, I'm only at stage 6. So I don't know if they're going to do that later on or not. I have no idea. I mean, right now, obviously, it's going to be a lot easier. But I can definitely tell they definitely put a lot more work and effort into this round of Deimos Base than what they did before. I mean, right now, guys, we have our buff info. And what they've done is we got element, type, and common, right? Whereas, and then, of course, all. Whereas element, you're going to have an effect where you can buff a certain elemental color, whether they're blue, purple, yellow, and whatever. And you can actually go through and look at the buffs that you can actually get, right? They're going to give you 3 choices of a buff for every stage that you defeat. And then you have the type, right? Attack type, balance type, defense, buffing up those types of fighter, right? And again, you can go through here and take a look at what kind of buffs you can get. And then common, which works on all the characters, whether they're defense, whether they're, a certain elemental, whether it's a certain color, it doesn't matter, which is awesome. Then you can actually hit display obtain buffs, and you can look at the buffs that you already got. Now, these are the ones that I have to go for so far. Whether or not these are the best, I don't know, but you will find that I think decreasing a certain dot damage is probably going to be pretty beneficial because it's going to work on all your characters. I'm not really so sure about this one here, to be perfectly honest, because of the decreased PG rate. But the 10% chance to decrease active 3 skill cooldown by 1 second does definitely help for some certain characters on a 5-second cooldown. And the thing that I like, one thing that I really noticed about this that they changed compared to the Deimos Base that we had before is that before, whenever we come in here, there would be a dot that would apply to everybody on the screen no matter what. No matter what. And what they've done is they've actually put in these little blobs of dot, more or less, that can actually hit you and then do dot to you. They don't hit you throughout the entire screen, right? It's not a full animation dot. It's just a dot that they can actually apply to you. So you can actually dodge away from it because they do these attacks to you where they can actually hit you, right? And I'd have noticed that so far, so far, guys, the heals are working. See that little thing right there? That thing actually can apply a dot to you or a certain effect, right? And you can actually kill it really quick. And as long as you get out of range of that thing, you will not take any dot. Now, will this change as we go into higher stages? I'm not really sure, guys, right? I don't know yet. But so far, so good. I really, really like what they've done so far. And hopefully our heals will work as we go in higher stages here. So right there, you guys can see that little thing that showed up. And then the dot is applied. So I'm going to switch my character, and now the dot isn't applied, right? And that's another thing. Before, when we switched our characters, that freaking dot would still apply to us. So they've actually made, so far, guys, they've made it a little bit easier than what it was before. But, granted, guys, I'm only at stage 6, right? I'm not at stage 50. This goes up to 50 stages, right? So I don't really know how much more difficult this is going to be. I'm definitely going to be playing this on the stream tonight. But, you're going to get your buffs where you can decide what is the best way to go, right? Now, for me, I think I'm going to go with the yellow because I'm actually using Real, right? So I'm going to go with this yellow right here. Okay, and you might end up switching your team. And then after this meter finishes and your character dies, then you're going to have to use a different character. But I'm actually really liking what they've done, especially with the dot effect. That's the big thing I've noticed so far is that they've done that. And I'm really, really happy that they did that because that was really a bunch of crap. Now, we're going to see how the HP works, like maybe later on. Maybe they're going to take away our HP. I'm sure tomorrow I have a lot more information about the Deimos Base. Okay. I mean, right now, guys, you know, my characters are just pretty much plowing through all this. Okay. And I think that's Starlight. I'm not really sure, right? But we want, oh, that, I think that's Chill. I'm not really sure. Okay. So now darkness is applied. We're going to go ahead and switch our character. Nice, nice. But I really like that you can avoid that thing. I mean, that really is the big thing I've noticed so far. I mean, obviously, my characters are, you know, pretty much going to destroy right now because they're just, you know, they're so leveled up. But we'll see how difficult this is going to get as we go. Like, I am curious, are they going to nerf our HP to the points where we can't even hardly heal? That was something else they did in the previous Deimos base. So increase damage of basic combos by 20%, critical rate, attack speed. I like the combo one. I like the combo one. That's a big attack buff, right? And, you know, obviously all of them are going to be laid out here for you. And as far as completing Deimos base, right, you know, you're going to get your rewards from the event here, which is really nice. Once we get to Deimos Base 10, we're going to get 200 rubies. This is something else I like, is that they did a, you know, build as you go effect where you're going to be getting rewards as you climb higher. So it rewards the lower level players or the non-level up accounts as well as the veteran accounts, right? And then at the end of this road, you actually get an SS memory, right? And I'm really, really hoping that changes and fluctuates because this is going to go on every 2 weeks. And I hope it fluctuates, you know, to where we get like a BS memory, you know, one time, an SS memory another time. So there's burn right there, guys. Okay, and you can destroy those things. Akuma is actually really awesome here because this freaking fear just applies to everybody, which is nice. It causes them to be stagnant and stationary. See, there's a bleed, right? There was bleed and burn there. So there was 2 different dots. So you actually would have to avoid those things at all costs. Like, they'll shoot like a little ray out. Right? I mean, right now I'm murdering these bosses pretty quick. So again, we'll see how this goes when we get into higher levels. But so far, so good, guys. I mean, we're going to go ahead and go to stage 10. So let's see here. We got 2% chance to reset active skill 1 after doing a forward roll. And then active skill 3, then active, and 4% chance to reset active skill 1 upon landing active skill 1. We're going to do that one. That one's a lot easier, right? All right, now the rolling is definitely going to probably come in handy like later on when you're doing it a lot or whenever like the dot effects are much more difficult. I mean, that are dealing more damage is what I really should say. Okay. Okay, oh. I want to get away from that thing. Get away from that. That's going to apply some poison. Okay, so there's the poison. It does a little stun effect. So you can go ahead and switch your character. Right? Go ahead and switch your character when that happens to you. So, I mean, you're already seeing some different effects, which is really nice compared to the previous Deimos base that we had. So I'm really liking it, guys. I'm really liking it so far. I mean, maybe I'm liking it because it's just super easy right now. I don't want it to be easy though. I mean, I want a bit of a challenge. I want it to be somewhat difficult. I want us to feel like we're really earning that SS memory. Let's see here. Decrease defensive fire damage taken. 5% chance to decrease damage by 7% when a yellow fighter attacks. Okay, this one isn't really going to matter so much. And we'll do one more here, all right? But I mean, if our healers work throughout this entire thing, that will make it a little bit easier, right? I mean, you still would have to switch your character, especially if you're taking a lot of damage from Dot. Oh, yeah. And there you guys see that I took some bleed right there. But I mean, when we're doing so much damage, it doesn't really matter at this point. But I'm pretty sure later on it's gonna matter a lot. Yeah, I mean they're just destroying right now. And and this is a game mode, guys, that you got a certain amount of time period or a certain time period, and you can play, so many stages every day, right? If you're busy, if you got a busy time schedule, decrease the active 2 skill cooldown, decrease the ultimate move by 5%. I already got this up by 5% already, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this one here. We'll try that one. Right, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop at that, guys. Otherwise, we'd be here all day going through this. But so far, so good, right? Again, it looks like it's just way, way better. The reward system is definitely better, and you guys can see applied dungeon effects, chill damage set each period, right? Poison damage, right? Shock damage, significant HP recovery decrease each set period. So there we do have the HP recovery, but I really didn't notice it since I'm using these jacked up characters or in these lower levels. But I'm sure as we get into higher levels, it's going to get much, much harder, right? So I mean, you can definitely see like, and characters that are immune to like these certain dots are going to be pretty relevant also in these stages, guys. That's something else also to think about. Characters that have chill reflect, or they have shock reflect, and those kinds of things are also going to be very, very strong in these stages. So guys, I'm really happy so far with Deimos Base. Again, we're only at stage 12, so I haven't got the full gist of how difficult this is actually going to be just yet, but so far so good. So let me know in the comments what you all think about the new Deimos Base, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.